This is Misty.
And this is Christy. You're listening to
Misty and Kristy. All right, guys. Today we have an idiot alert.
Oh.
Well, I think, yeah.
It's more Wayne's World. Hang on. Wayne's World.
A total idiot alert. So apparently, last week, the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, has decided to lift the decade-long ban which prohibited students from bringing their cell phones into public school buildings.
Okay, time out. I didn't think kids were allowed to bring them in anyways, but you're an educator and you have kids in the system, so educate me on cell phones.
Now, I can speak on behalf of two districts, one being the one my children go to attend, and then one being the one I've worked in.
I remember being in high school and hiding my, you ready for this? Pager.
My pager. And it varies by campus, which is currently what the mayor is now allowing. He's allowing the campuses to establish their own tech policies.
Okay.
And that's what's very common in my own children's district.
So your kids can text you all day without getting penalized.
It's not as open as that. They can have their cell phones in their backpacks, stored in their pockets at the elementary level. Now, once they get to secondary level, they're able to actually utilize those. If they're on a tech campus, they can listen to their music, they can look up information, they can research, which I think, as an educator, I'm an advocate of that. We're in a tech-friendly society. These kids need to know how to utilize their phones appropriately.
You know how I hid my pager?
It's the only way you teach social skills. It's the only way you teach technology is to show them how to appropriately use it. So also as a parent, I think it's very important, and the mayor shared this same view, that prohibiting cell phones on campuses was breaking down communication between parent and student. Now, you may think, well, parents shouldn't communicate with their child throughout the day.
No, I had a pager, which I hid.
Well, that's a little different than
my
a cell
bra.
phone.
But I would hide my pager in my bra, and my mom would page me every day at some point. I would call in and call her. Because we had are you ready for this? A pay phone.
But the reality is, with the mayor, he based his decision on several factors, the main one being the breakdown of communication parent and student. And there are a lot, I'm sure parents out there held the same view I do. I need to be able to get in touch with my child in the event of an emergency and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Number two, even as an educator, I would say, in the event my child feels there is an unfairness occurring, there is an emergency situation, I want my child to communicate with me. And if an educator fears that, then an educator should watch what they're doing when they're at work.
Let me ask this. Is this kind of a general thing amongst school districts?
What do you mean?
So, I guess I don't have kids. I don't know. I don't have kids that have
the campuses
phones.
Typically decide their own tech policy.
So it's case by case.
Campus by
campus.
The district is going to establish a guideline like they do for every code of conduct. But essentially, every campus can change those or make amendments as they choose. Same situation.
Okay, I'm with you. This is foreign to me. So
what the mayor did is he's making it a campus base. He's allowing the campuses to determine their own tech policies.
In New York City.
He's lifting the ban that governed the entire city.
So in New York, PS 152, they can bring their phones in. Because they do PS. They don't actually have names. It's PS.
Yes, so they can. The school, then the individual campus can establish their own tech policy.
Okay.
The mayor's lifting the ban.
This is a foreign concept.
So if this school over here says, well, I'm still sticking with the ban, then it's going to be an issue because the mayor has lifted the ban. They have to probably create some form of protocol policy. You may have your phone, but it must be in your backpack. Whereas the problem was in lower income schools where the metal detectors were in place, the kids automatically were being caught, where you had those other schools that didn't have metal detectors in place. So what were you doing? You were sticking yours in your backpack. So now here's the idiot alert right here. Here's my idiot alert.
I'm with you.
So you have an idiot who has parked his van in lower income areas of New York City and is charging children $1 a day to store, let me finish my thought, to store their cell phones. It's an idiot.
Wait, is it a parent? Is it just a regular citizen?
It's a person. It's an individual.
So he saw this
who was interviewed on a local radio station.
So he saw this as an economic opportunity.
It's on a nationwide radio station.
So he saw this as an economic opportunity
to make money off of the impoverished community.
Well, it's not stupid. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
But he's saying that the mayor is infringing upon his opportunity to make a living. You're an idiot. If your living is based on taking lunch money from children who are already in a poverty environment and situation, I can't look at
But
that.
see, I
okay,
think-
and I'm going to say that a crack dealer is an entrepreneur. He's brilliant. Sell crack. Why? Because there are people who have an addiction. Yes, these people, I guess you could say, need this service.
But as a
they're
person
taking
who
lunch
has a-
money from children.
As a person who has a phone, who lives and breathes by her phone, as do you, if I had to give somebody X number of dollars a day to hold it, I would flip out. What if they did something to my phone? What if they...
Well,
what
you're
the-
contradicting what you just said. First, you said that he was a smart entrepreneur.
I'm
now
saying-
you're saying you would flip out if you had to pay the storage fee.
Okay, okay. Back up. What I'm saying is, that's actually, I mean, as a guy thinking, okay, opportune time to make some money, fine, whatever. But I'm paying this guy money to store my phone. How do I know he's not going through my phone and seeing all my pictures? And
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what he did or didn't do?
And reading my text
And at the end of the day, who
messages.
cares? You're talking about a subculture and a population of people
And yes, I contradict myself at times.
who
Yes.
can't afford $5 a week. They're already on low income food plans
So
and
he's
meal
parking
plans.
himself outside of the school.
Yes, he was interviewed specifically as saying that lifting this ban will infringe upon my opportunity to gain, to obtain a living. What am I going to do for a job? Hey, here's an idea. Go get one. Go get an actual job.
Go flip
Stop
burgers
taking lunch
at Burger
money.
King.
Stop taking lunch money from children. It's disgusting.
He doesn't want to pay taxes.
It's disgusting. I can't even fathom the utter idiocy. The fact that you would want to be interviewed saying something so ridiculous is baffling to me. That's not the idea of the American hustle. Hey, I'm all about if you see a need, meet a need, feel a need, if you see an
Sure.
opportunity to gain wealth, that's fine.
That's what we've done.
But not by taking money from children.
No, but we've seen an
To
opportunity
store-
and done it. Cheers.
That didn't sound good.
Let's try it again. Hang on. Cheers. Oh,
It's a little
this is
better.
the wine glasses I bought her.
But my whole thing is, to me, it's an idiot alert. You're literally on a nationwide broadcast saying that the decision
Boasting.
on what the mayor has chosen to do infringes upon your ability to provide for your family. If that decision infringes upon your ability to provide for your family,
Go flip burgers at Burger King.
I'm floored. I can't even, I don't understand how someone like that goes home. How do you have pride in, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I take money from kids to store their phones.
So you're
Get the hell out of here. Are you freaking kidding me?
It's like being a drug dealer. It is.
I'm sorry. I understand he's not inflicting harm or pain, but essentially
It's their
you're
choice.
prostituting a situation.
It's their choice.
They don't have a choice. These children are riding public transportation or they're walking blocks to school alone.
No, I understand
They're carrying their phone because that's their only way to communicate in the event of an emergency. And then they get to their school building doors that has a metal detector. They can't sneak their phone in. They have no choice. They're in a situation to where he's basically preying upon a situation that if they didn't bring their phone to school or on the walk to school or on public transportation while getting to school, they could be putting themselves in harm's way. They're limiting their opportunity to even call 911. And now you're there to store the phone? Freaking idiot. It just really pissed me off. Got my goat.
I think I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that kids can bring their phones into school. When I was hiding my
Oh, yeah, it's much different.
when I was
era
hiding
then.
my pager in my bra.
Okay, but you have to understand, look how much technology has evolved.
I mean,
when did you go to school? When did you graduate from high school? Do you want to say?
You know what? I'll own it today.
All right, okay, go ahead.
1997.
Okay, so almost 2 decades. Think how much.
But I am 26 and holding.
Oh, whatever. So think how much technology has evolved.
Oh, I
I'm
know.
not a techie, but I want my children and I want students to have the opportunity to utilize technology to its fullest ability. And if that means I get to do a Google search for something to answer a question quickly, that's what we do.
I do now. I Google everything.
We know an amazing, brilliant professor who says you don't have to know all the right answers, but you need to know how to get
Find
them.
them.
Children have access to the right answers in
However,
their hands.
On the flip side, you and I were in the same graduate program.
Right.
With a lot of the same professors. We would take the same classes with a lot of the same professors.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them will complain if you were on your laptop.
right? They want to have that eye contact during a lecture, which I can understand. Now, let me
On the flip
let me
side, I'm
reframe.
30-something years old. I paid you $3,000 for a class. If I want to check my
But
email, I'll check
that's
my
a
email.
rabbit trail. Let me reframe on that. I'm pretty certain that within the structured policy of the school district, there's going to be protocol in classrooms. As an educator, I would say, personally, right now we're going to be studying the Texas Revolution. We only have 5 desktops in this classroom because we're not a tech-friendly campus and we're in a low-income area.
Right.
But we have 20 kids. Now, 6 of you have cell phones, would have unlimited data. Utilize that cell phone to pull up information so I can put these 5 other kids over here on this
don't have
computer
that opportunity.
who don't have that. That's a pro to have. Now, are you going to have people who abuse it, who sit on it all day on Facebook, on Instagram,
Oh,
on their music
absolutely.
app? Sure. But again, it's the same thing of teaching a child how to communicate. I have students who scream and yell as a form of normal communication. I can't tell them in the lunchroom, don't speak at all. My job as an educator is to teach them how to appropriately communicate in an appropriate tone if it's not being taught as a social skill at home. Same thing with a cell phone.
Right.
Can you abuse it, having it in your hand at all times?
Sure.
The reality will be in New York, the first time these kids get the opportunity to have their cell phone on their person, they're going to abuse the privilege because they haven't been trained yet of what's
how to do
appropriate and what's not. So could there be some conflict involved? Sure. Hopefully campuses will be proactive in saying, here's the appropriate use, here's the inappropriate use. On the flip side, reeling it back in, we're on the idiot alert. The idiot alert is focusing around this fool who parked a white van.
Which is like code
I'm like,
for
what are you doing?
It's like code for
white van outside of a school already is sending off all kinds
Kidnapper,
of red
child
flags. I'm like, what the
molester.
hell are you doing?
Get like a 18
Anyway, he
van
got
or
my go.
something.
He had me going. He had me irate. All I wanted was 5 minutes with him to ask him, to even say, do you
I think-
consider this a livelihood?
I agree with you.
Do
now.
you consider this income?
Because now I agree with you. Because beforehand, I didn't understand that phones are allowed these days.
Yeah.
Now I get where you're coming from. Totally get it.
Now, and like I said, on elementary campuses, typically they have to be stowed away in your backpack, out of sight, out of mind.
Understandably.
Because they don't know yet the appropriate use. But then once you get to secondary school, I mean, my son is on a tech-friendly campus.
Yeah.
They can walk through the hallways, earbuds in, phones out. It is what it is. You can't even monitor it because every child has a cell phone. How do you monitor that? It's micromanaging in education. Get real. We ourselves as adults have been in board meetings, in rooms
With our phones,
in
right here.
church. I mean, yeah, they're lifelines.
So now that I understand, because I'm still like, I don't have kids. Again, I don't have kids. I don't get it. I remember just having my.
Can you agree that this person's an idiot?
100%.
Okay, that's all
I think what I like more is like,
and hopefully the listeners agree this person is an idiot. Idiot alert.
What I like more about him being an idiot is he's in a white, creepy van.
He said,
front of his school.
I believe how he was introduced prior to his interview was
This white creeper van guy.
his name was given, and then they said, who parks his white van outside of various schools during the day and collects $1 a day from students to store their phone. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, when I saw it, when I heard it, I was driving, and I mean, I just went irate.
Oh,
You gotta be kidding me.
That's good and holy.
I mean, talk about the American hustle. Gone wrong. And this is what America is coming to.
I'm just have a memory of sticking my pager in my.
You
bag.
keep saying this. It no longer holds value.
That's my point of reference.
You're talking about a pager. You're talking about a pager.
My clear pager.
Would you have paid a man to store it for you $1 a day?
No, I hooked it in my bra like a good girl would.
Okay, but do you have metal detectors going into your school either?
No.
Okay.
They do now, not at the time.
Okay.
Nope, they had dogs that would sniff our lockers and our cars.
Anyway, we would love to hear from you. Do you
Hashtag
agree?
idiot.
Idiot
Hashtag.
alert. Idiot alert. Idiot
If you're like
alert.
me in 1997 who kept your pager in your
Let's
bra.
stop with the pager in the bra.
That's my point of reference.
The listeners don't want the imagery.
Oh, it's a big
Oh God. Stop snorting. Stop drinking the wine.
It's a chromosomal defect. I actually had a wine. If you're to donate, feel free. Anything else you want to say today, my love?
No.
I wish I could take a picture of your face. You're like, fuck you, bitch.
That's about where I'm at.
So we're gonna go to El Chico. If you kept your pages in your bra, let us know. If not, I get it.
This bitch. I can't take it. I'm done. Thanks for tolerating us today. Please chime in if you agree with the Idiot Alert or if you agree it was an appropriate way to make a living.
At Misty and Kristy on Twitter or Misty and Kristy Show on Facebook. Bye.